The corridors of the Interstellar Mining Corporation, Cytherian Dynamics, were always buzzing with activity, but that morning felt particularly unbearable. I, Captain Elias Vaughn, had just received my annual performance bonus, or, more accurately, the company's version of it. For my alien colleague, Zorathnine, it meant a brand new, state-of-the-art spaceship, sleek curves, adaptive armor, hyperquantum drives, the kind of ship that made humans dream in envy. For me, a relic from the early 2200s that had seen more solar storms than I'd had hot meals in my life. I stared at the ship's hull through the docking bay viewport, my lips pressed into a thin line. The paint was chipped. The engines groaned. And yet, there it was, mine. My bonus. Zorathnine floated nearby, its translucent skin pulsing in excitement. Ilias, look. My new ship. Isn't it magnificent? It chirped in its alien lilt, which roughly translated to, "You are pathetic, human." I nodded, forcing a smile. Yes, magnificent. Inside, I knew the truth. I wasn't upset because of Zorathnine's ship. I was upset because I knew the crew meetings were coming up, where my old ship would be a constant reminder of how expendable humans apparently were. And worse, it was my job to pilot this old bucket into the Krillian belt, a notoriously dangerous asteroid field. I had no illusions. I was replaceable. Humans were expensive and fragile. Aliens, they were valued for efficiency and longevity. My chest tightened, and I realized I had a decision to make. That night, I didn't sleep. Not because of fear, but because of resolve. At 4 a.m., before anyone in the docking bay was awake, I made my move. The old ship hummed under my hands as I checked every dial, every fuse, every outdated module. It squeaked and whined, but it worked, barely. I climbed in, heart pounding, and whispered to it, "Let's show them what humans can do." The lights of the station were dim, the stars outside cold and indifferent. I took a deep breath, ignited the engines, and left before anyone could realize I was gone. The first hour was chaos. The old ship groaned as if protesting my audacity, and the navigation systems flickered in warning. But humans are stubborn. I leaned forward, hands gripping the controls, eyes locked on the stars, and pushed the ship to its limits. Zora-9 single quotes, us voice, came crackling over the come, Elias. "Where are you going? Return immediately." The company, I cut it off with a flick of a switch that disengaged all tracking systems. Let them track me if they could. I had a plan, and it involved far more than waiting for approval. The asteroid belt loomed ahead like a jagged crown of rocks and death. The newer ships, including Zorathnine's, were designed to glide through it effortlessly, their adaptive shields bending under pressure. Mine, it shuddered with every minor collision with debris, but there was something the aliens didn't. Count on, humans improvise. While their ships relied on sensors and shields, I relied on instinct. I remembered my grandfather's old advice from Earth. See the world, not the instruments. My hands moved in tandem with the ship's movements. I dodged an asteroid by inches, feeling the thrill of control that no automated system could match. Halfway through the belt, the unthinkable happened. A massive asteroid, one the automated sensors had not predicted, suddenly drifted into my path. Zorath-9's ship screamed across the void, engines failing to compensate quickly enough. I had only milliseconds to act. Human reflexes are inferior, the aliens always said. Predictable, slow. I laughed under my breath. Predictable. Maybe, slow. Never, with a maneuver that would have made even veteran pilots gasp. I flipped the ship, using the asteroid's gravity to slingshot around it. The hull groaned, sparks flying inside the cockpit, but I emerged on the other side. Heart racing, adrenaline flooding my veins. For a moment, the silence of space was deafening. Then, over the coms, Zorathnine gasped. Elias, how? I didn't answer. I kept moving, weaving through the field like a thread through a needle. Hours later, when I finally emerged from the other side, the station's lights glimmered ahead. I had done it, alone, with an old, worn ship that everyone had laughed at. And then came the moment of reckoning. Back at the station, Zorathnine and the other alien pilots were gathered in the docking bay. They had been tracking my signature, watching in disbelief as my tiny, creaking ship had navigated the asteroid field faster and more efficiently than any new model. I docked, engines smoking slightly, sparks still flickering from the hull. The aliens froze. The entire crew froze. Elias, the station commander, said, his antennae twitching in shock. Explain. I stepped out of the cockpit, wiping the sweat from my brow, and smiled. Explain what? I did what any pilot should do. I got the job done. Zorathnine floated beside me, its eyes wide and shimmering. You didn't just survive. You outmaneuvered us all. With that ancient relic. I shrugged, leaning against my ship. Sometimes it's not the ship that matters. It's the pilot. A murmur went through the crowd. Aliens exchanged glances, something unfamiliar flickering in their expressions. Respect. That moment changed everything in the weeks that followed. The story of my 4 a.m. departure spread throughout the corporation. Human ingenuity, audacity, and raw determination became a legend among the alien ranks. Zorathnine, once smug and condescending, now approached me differently, you know. It said, one day I underestimated you. We underestimated humans. I laughed, offering a hand. Don't get used to it. We're still fragile, expensive, and occasionally unpredictable. But when it counts, we're unstoppable. The company couldn't ignore the results. Suddenly, human pilots were being assigned to critical missions, trusted with operations that even the most advanced alien ships struggled with. My old, decrepit ship. It became famous. Pilots nicknamed it the Phoenix, for the way it had risen from neglect to glory, and me. I learned something invaluable that day. It's not about the technology. It's not about the bonuses, the shiny toys, or the perks. It's about willpower, creativity, and the courage to leave at 4 a.m. when everyone else doubts you. Humans were always underestimated. That was our advantage. Because when everything else fails, when the odds are against us, we fight, we survive, we thrive, and if an old ship is all you have, perfect. The universe has a way of rewarding the bold. Months later, as I flew through a newly discovered sector of space, Zorathnine by my side in its brand new ship, it asked me something quietly. Elias, why did you leave so early that morning? I smiled, watching the stars streak past. Because, my friend, I knew humans don't wait for permission. We act. And sometimes the galaxy doesn't know what hit it until it's already done. Zorathnine was silent for a moment, a glow pulsing across its skin. Then it laughed genuinely, for the first time, and said, I understand now. And in that moment, as to pilots one human, one alien soared through the void, I realized something else. Maybe, just maybe, humans were the universe's best-kept secret, because the universe didn't just need technology, it needed audacity. And audacity was human, asterisk.